Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Kathy. Thank you for joining me today. We are back on our bags of love today. It is quite early. The sun has not even come up. It is Saturday morning, so I'm going to go on and show you what I have done. I was like, let me get some pre-work done before I record, and then I realized, no, what this is to show how we can streamline the process by doing multiples at the same time. But I did get some stuff done already. First thing I have done is trimmed up all of my bag tops, and I have already notched out. So this section, or this step, we're going to be notching out our bag. You will see here I have a panel here that's not been notched out. On the lining side, your instructions do tell you the size that you need to trim off. Take you a pencil, pen, whatever you use to mark your fabric, and mark all four of your corners. Once you have those corners marked, and guys, I have found out that these are Bernina scissors. They are fabulous. It's easier to trim or clip these corners if you use these scissors. And I'm not going to say go buy Bernina scissors because I have no idea what these cost if you just buy them outright. Mine came in their Christmas box in 2023, I believe. Yeah, it was 2023 because it was the year I got my Bernina. And they had this box come out, and I mean, a lot of people might have said I was stupid for buying it, but I was new to quilting. I was new to Bernina because the box at the time was $1,000. And I think you can get them now for like 600, same exact box. But the shop that I purchased my Bernina from, I just told her, I said, well, $1,000 is pretty steep to not know what you're getting in the box. So she had a box that she let me look in, and the value far exceeded, what we paid for it. I know there was some things in there, and I still have some of it. There was like a fat quarter bundle that had Bernina on it and sewing machines. But the biggest thing was the embroidery collection that came with it. It is on a disc. I have used it. I do love it. I think that the thumb drive and all, it's a Bernina thumb drive and all that, and I think it's OESD is what it is. It's like a big collection of embroidery patterns on it. And I think that whole thing was worth well over $1,000. Okay, so you see I have my four edges notched out here. So the next thing we are going to do is fold it inside out. And we are going to press the center of it at the bottom. Now, right now you can check your seams to make sure they're all matching up if you want everything to match up real nicely. If you don't care, I don't normally care, if they match up or not. But if you want to make sure they match up, I'll just make sure my notches match up, because overall it's going to kind of match up. But my main thing is I want my notches to match up, because these notches are going to create your box top. And it says press it down. I don't really like doing this, and I'm not going to. That's just too much work. We know where the center of our bag is. We know how we quilted it. we know that bottom thing right there is our center. So let's not worry about doing all that pressing. We know where the edge is, the corner is. Our next thing that we have to do is make our tabs. Now you are going to need 14 pieces. It tells you the size in your instructions, what to cut, but you're going to need 14 pieces. I've already press some of these in half, and that's what we're gonna do. This was the point where I was like, no, we're supposed to be streamlining it by doing multiples at a time. So let's show this, because this is one of the steps. Now I finger press these before I hit that iron on it, because you probably noticed it popped up a little bit there. And this is the step we're making the tabs. If you want to put D-rings on them, you only need to, half your tabs you would put D-rings on if you want to do that. D-rings is a cost or an expense that I feel for something like this is not necessary, because you can hold it by the tab just as easy, because you can mine anyway, because my tabs are in there good. You're sewing them there at the end of the zipper. So they stay in pretty good. They do. They really do. Or so far, no one has told me otherwise. But I am down to my last two. And this next step, I probably need to bring you guys closer to see this next step, because I've had several questions about this. What you're doing is you're folding in on itself. And I don't know how else to explain that. You have your raw edge and you have your fold. The fold is where we have pressed, and I'll show you here. I'm not going to use that one because it's still a little warm. Okay, so here you have your little fabric, and let's open it up here. Okay, we're opened up. This here is your fold. You see where it folds up? This is your raw edges. What I do is I take this raw edge and I fold it in and tuck it into that fold, and then I press. You can do both sides at the same time if you're that good. I'm not that good. So I have to do one side at a time. And that may take a little while. I wish, I may get a little braver here in a little bit and start trying to do two at one time, but right now, one at a time. Once I took that second one in, I just pressed the whole thing down. And there you have your tab. We will be sewing this on both sides, but let's get the rest of them made. I just tried doing two at one time, and it's not so hard to do that. I'm going to see if they're close to, yep, they're the exact same size. So we will continue to do that. What I did is I just took the top piece and the bottom piece and just folded it right into that crease. I know it's hard to see. I wish I could put y'all down here on the table with me, which I can't. One day I will have that set up where we can do that. But I am probably going to just speed you guys up right here, so you don't have to sit and watch me do 14 of these little things. And the next step, we will be sewing them. Now that we have all 14 of our tabs pressed, we're going to start sewing them. Now, I sew them. I don't think the instructions tell you how close to sew it. It just says top stitch both sides. So what I do, I have my 30/70, which is an 1/8 and a 1/4 foot. So you can do on the inside of the foot and get an 1/8 of an inch, or the outside of the foot and get a 1/4 inch. So I do an 1/8 on each side, and the first side I sew together is where you have the two folds, the two pieces of fabric coming together. So I am just going to keep. And also, this is where if you have any that's not even, you can kind of get them together. It's not really necessary. It's not a big deal. It's all being sewn together. Unless you're more than 1/8 of an inch off. And yeah, then you may want to pull them together. And I just realized I forgot to change my needle. I hit a pin yesterday sewing. But this will be real quick work getting all 14 of these done. Let's see, it's just zoop, zoop, zoops, and we're in there, in there, in there. Let's see. This one here looks, if you have some that look a little like they may not catch, you can pull them over. I notice I have some that's just a little, like not even 1/8 of an inch, like a minute fraction from being even at the top. And guys, I'll tell you, that does not really matter. Okay, guys, I had to change my needle out. That clacking was going to get me good today. Now that's much better. But you can see how quick a work this is. We're getting all 14 tabs done. We're doing 7 bags today. This may be the only sewing we get done, because our next step is zippers. I did go ahead and pull my zippers and my zipper foot out just in case. We got to get to zippers today. And if you are new and do not know what Bags of Love is, you can look down in the description. It will tell you what the Bags of Love is. I do have an Amazon wish list. I have, what all do I have? There are links for items that are needed for the bags down in the description also. Let's see. There's so many things about Bags of Love. Just watching the video helps. You do not have to monetarily assist with this, but if you feel the need to, if you feel like this is something you would like to support, all donations are accepted. I'll never turn down a donation to help cover any of this, but it is not necessary. I do not want anybody putting themselves out. So we've got the first side on the 14 tabs done. After I do this, what I will do is clip them apart and start the next side with my little handy dandy caddy here. There's a link in the description also for this lovely little thing here. I've seen many different forms of these. I like this one because it's got magnetic. That's a magnet, and there's a magnet there, and it's a little caddy. You could put things in it. I've got clips in it. I got safety pins, clips. Got a paper clip in there too. Don't know how that got in there. It makes real quick, easy work of these small tasks like this, especially when you're doing chain stitching. Now, what I've done, I don't know if you can see that, but I have my stitch line there on that 1/8 of an inch. I am going to get it started on the next side at an 1/8 of an inch. So now I'm sewing on that fold. A lot of people probably would have started with the fold. I didn't because I wanted to make sure that my outer edge matched well enough. We are just going to get in it with this. And guys, I'll tell you, I was probably in here 30-45 minutes marking and cutting those corners, so it's not a big deal really that y'all didn't miss much. Just put it like that. Y'all didn't miss much. I wanted to get in here and get this done because I know we are probably going to go have breakfast, and my husband works off this morning. Y'all will be seeing this on Sunday though. See, and this is like real quick work here. Getting a bunch of them done at one time. Now, see, I've never understood the pressing of that bottom seam because, and the reason is, you have to put your zipper in first. So does it really matter where that center is? I mean, because you're going to be putting it on the top edge. And I may be eating those words when I go to sew because it may make a difference. It shouldn't make a difference because the center of your bag, I mean, the bag should be centered from top to bottom with that center seam at the very bottom. You know, very, very center of it. And when you fold it, it should be the very bottom. I hope everyone is having a fabulous weekend. I've been doing my leg exercises, trying to get this knee working, this old knee. Okay, so now we have all 14 of our tabs done. We will cut these apart. Hopefully that's 14. Okay, it is 14. Now our next step with this is we are going to fold it in half. Half of them, if you want to put D-rings on, you will put the D-ring on it. At this time, I'm not. So what I'm doing is folding this in half. And I'm going to sew on the end here. Just sew those two ends together. I'm going to do that at 1/8 of an inch as well. That 1/8 works really well for all of this. Everything with your tab works really well at 1/8 of an inch. I don't worry too much about, you know, doing back stitches and all that because this is going to be put into another seam with the zippers. And we're just grabbing and folding, grabbing and folding. And if you have a Bernina, this 3070 foot is absolute heaven for you. It is the foot that stays on my machine the majority of the time. Now I will take it off here when I go to do the zippers. But that's because I have the 4D, which I think that's the zipper foot. I think that's the one I use. I took it out and it looks like it's the one I use. I'm pretty certain it is. Because if I recall correctly, my zipper foot, I do have to move my needle over. I have to move my needle over just a little bit to accommodate the zipper foot. Now, yeah, there are a lot of, like, your fabric kind of tends to fray a little bit, and I haven't put fray check on this. But your fabric does tend to fray a little bit while you're working with it. What I do once I get all of them sewn together, what I will do is just kind of trim up that fraying. So now I have my 14 tabs sewn together there. So let's just trim apart. And I will kind of clean up the ends of these tabs because you may not be able to see if there's frays everywhere. Lots of little frays. And what I make my tabs out of is when you cut your linings, there's little pieces on the ends that you don't use. And what I do is I just keep that. And then I can use that for my tabs. That's why they're all the same color. Which that also helps the bag come together because the lining and everything is, you know, the lining and the tabs are the same color. Just trying to clean these up real quick, because when you put your bag together, you don't want all these extra little frays in it. You want it to be pretty clean looking. Now, you can finish the insides of your bag seams with a zigzag stitch or something else. I don't, because my inside seams are pretty clean. They don't have fraying and all that going on. Okay, so now we have those tabs done. I'm going to clean this up and be right back. So what we will do, we will take our tabs, lay them over to the side. We will change out our foot, which this is my 37D that I'm taking off, and my 4D that I am putting on. I've changed my foot, so I have to change that also on my screen. And when I put that on when I choose that foot, it automatically moves my needle over just a little bit. So next thing that we're doing, we will be taking our bodies and putting zippers on them. Okay, so what we're going to do is take our bag. We are going to put the zipper. Now, your zipper is going to be longer than your project. So, say my zipper is way longer than my project. It says to put right sides together. So, these are right sides together. And this is how you're going to do it. This is the top of the fabric or your bag. And then you're just going to put these right sides together right there. And it says center the zipper. I don't ever do that because mine goes out far enough. And if I think there's going to be a problem, I'll do that. And it says you can pin. Now, the right side of the zipper is to the right side of the bag. So what I am going to do is just slide that. And they do tell you to pin. That may not be a bad idea, but I don't center it. I don't do that because to me, that doesn't matter. And I know y'all are going to be seeing the back of the bag here. We're just pinning this in to make sure it stays in place. And I know some people don't have to do this, but I'm not some people. I have to do this. Okay, so we have it pinned, and we are going to... Now, I'm going to move my needle to the other side of my foot because currently it's on this side. It's on this side of my foot, not this side of my foot. And my bag is on this side. And I want that closer. So let me just move my needle position. Okay, I just hit it one time and it jumped it right where I needed it. We are going to put this at 1/4 of an inch. Or you could just put your foot right next to the zipper. 1/4 of an inch is the edge of my zipper. When I go to put my needle down, it tells me that it would hit the plate. So I just moved it one more over, and I'm keeping it at that 1/4 of an inch. Oh, I just realized something. That D means you can use your dual control foot, and that just makes it so much easier to sew. Let me take that pin out. We don't want to be hitting any pins today. And with this zipper foot, it goes just right along that edge. It keeps your needle out of that zipper. Okay, so I've got the one bag done. I'm going to go on and do all of my bags that I can do and get this one side done. So let's move to the next one. Okay, so we are back at that 1/4 of an inch. We can see how fast this first half of the zipper goes. And hopefully the second half will go just as fast. Okay, so I have to decide, do I want a cream with this one? Yeah, cream one looks well. So I'm popping the papers off of all of that. And I'm watching for an hour because it's really all I have this morning to put to this. And we're getting close to that. So I imagine we will be doing the second half of the zippers next week. And folding our bags over. But we will see how much we can get done today. I may not even be able to get all of my zippers in today. We are going to hope, though, because I have found this, a lot of people are intimidated by zippers. Hey, I was one of those too. But it is worth the investment to invest in a zipper foot, because it looks like a boat paddle and your zipper runs right along the edge of that. Now, if you don't have one, most zippers are at 1/4 of an inch, if that helps. And what I mean by that, between the edge of the zipper and then your zipper line is 1/4 of an inch. Oh, that's a really long zipper. I got everything. Well, this is an 18-inch. I caught them on sale at Hobby Lobby. And I'm hoping I put that on the right way. Yeah. So when you catch them on sale, you just grab as many as they got. And I know why they tell you to center the zipper is because you have to unzip this to sew part of it. And you need to have about the same amount on both sides. You know, same amount of space on both ends to get the zipper in. You know, all the way in, and then to get your bag done. So guys, this is 3 that we've already got the zipper on. I have cream and I have white, and I just have to see which one I think is going to look the best with it. So that other one was an 18-inch. This one here is a 14-inch. I think I might have gone down as short as a 12-inch. But a 14-inch does work. I don't know. I haven't seen... Well, yeah, there's a 12-inch. My white ones are 12 inches. Well, guys, and my sister going to be calling here pretty soon about going and getting breakfast, because you may be able to tell the sun is coming up a little bit behind me. And my stomach's probably about to start growling. We are just keeping this on that 1/4 of an inch. Now this one I will use a white zipper on it. Now the white zippers are 12-inch. So we'll see how a 12-inch zipper does. It looks like it's going to be perfect. Yes, it is perfectly fine. It is larger than the bag. I wouldn't go much smaller than a 12-inch zipper. And seeing the time, guys, we are actually right at 50 minutes. So I may even be able to get this zipper flipped, because it's not taking very long at all to get this zipper in, because we have 7 panels and I'm on the last one. I'm hoping I may be able to do some other bags for you guys. If y'all think that's what you would like to see, let me know. I know I have the pattern and the fabrics for 2 other bags. I'm pretty certain I have 2 bags. Yeah, I do have 2 bags. And I know I was looking for the kind of duffel bag. It's not really a duffel bag. It's like a carry-all. And I will put... I can't recall the name right now, but I will put the name of it probably somewhere down here, or a link in the description to the pattern. That looks like a duffel. It's pretty big. I don't even recall if it's zipped or not, but I'll know it when I see it. Okay, so that is all 7, and we got a few minutes to spare here. So let's check our next out. I know we do flip up. We flip our zipper up, and we sew this down right here. So that means I need... Oh, let's see. How is that going to work? I think I can put my zipper foot on the left side of the zipper and put it at the very first stitch. Now make sure it is turned all the way under, that you don't have it go in the wrong direction somewhere. we're going to see how this works. Okay, I'm going to look at this one to see if it holds it down good. It does look good there. Well, it does turn it down. So we're going to go with that. So we are going to try to get all of these done as quickly as possible. And it's just a matter of dropping that foot right there at the zipper line, at the zipper. It's catching so little of that fabric though, so that kind of worries me there. But it is catching it, so. We are going to just keep on going. I'm at an hour right now, but I think we can get these done in 5-10 minutes, maybe a little longer. But it won't hurt anything. At least we know we got us an hour of sewing in. I like checking them all to make sure they grabbed, and it does look like they're grabbing really good. So we're halfway there, y'all. We're halfway there. Okay, I think what I'm going to start doing now is trying a different thing here so I get more of the fabric under. It may work, it may not. I put the zipper foot on the edge of the fabric. I want to just see what that one does, what that looks like, instead of putting it on the edge of the zipper. Now that does catch it all the way. That actually does look better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Start putting the edge of the zipper foot on the edge of the fabric and not up to the zipper. You know, a lot of this is all trial and error, and try it out and see what works and what don't work. And that's what crafting and creating is all about, is trying new things and seeing, putting your swing, you know, your twist on things. And seeing what works best for you. And here we have it. All 7 panels have the zipper on the top edge of it. So let's see, what did we do today? We did our corners, all 4 corners on each one of our bag panels. This is going to create our box top for us. We have done the tabs for all 7 bags. We have pressed them and sewn them. And now we have put the zipper on one edge of the bag. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I do appreciate each and every one of you checking in to see what I have going on. Please feel free, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, leave a comment. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally, and as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, guys.